Jamie Woodruff is Europe's #1 ethical hacker. Jamie, welcome. What brings you to ICE this year?
Yeah, so I'm here talking about social engineering, talking about cybersecurity, and some of the trends that we've seen around cybersecurity over the last few years, and how it's becoming more and more mainstream. People are getting used to it, but they shouldn't. They should still kind of evolve and adapt around the current trends.
Tell us very briefly how you got into this job.
Yeah, kind of by accident, really. As I said, I started hacking when I was 9 years old. Went to school, didn't do very well at all. College, not very well at all, got expelled. And then, decided that I didn't want to, hack maliciously, in a sense, and I wanted to become this ethical hacker. So I helped companies with loads of exploits and vulnerabilities that I found, disclosed that to companies, and kind of built a name for myself around cybersecurity, but mainly specializing in social engineering.
Can you give me an example of the human cost of hacking?
Yeah, I mean, for instance, if we look at it from a perspective, I always give this analogy: we spend millions on infrastructure, but we completely forget the employees. And they're the weakest link and element inside of an industry. You've got senior executives that want passwords removed or don't care about cybersecurity because it's not on their agenda right now. But then you have different companies and corporations turning around and saying, yes, we need it. We've got the right teams in, we've got the department. But I think the way that people look at it is it's almost like a doctor. You have a neurologist, you have a dermatologist, you have all these different fields for the generic word of doctor. With cybersecurity, people need to understand that's the same principle. You have the hardware guys, you have the people guys, you have the software guys. Each one kind of complements each other. It's not, just one thing that you need multiple.
Is there a typical hacker?
I mean, no. Maybe 10 years ago there was a typical kind of perception of a hacker, but right now it could be anyone. I've been involved with certain cases where they've been 15, 16-year-old kids, whereas other ones have been 40-year-old males just bored and angry at their employers.
What can companies do? What simple measures can companies take to protect themselves and their employees better?
I think majority of what companies need to do is adapt, and evolve. Cybersecurity, the way that I see it, is part of evolution. It's an evolutionary process. You need it. Just as you need skilled people inside and skilled people to conduct labor, you need the same thing. And I think the way that we're moving forward is, companies need to spend more on the employee side. They need to spend more on that side because the human factor is the biggest weakness. In any kind of organization or any structure. We look at machine learning, the person's behind that, they've coded that and they programmed that. Again, that's their logic that's going into it. And I think that's the scary element of what needs to change. And I think we're seeing that slowly, but eventually in the next 5-10 years, I think that'll be more focused and priority.